When you hear the sound of the bell, you know you're in the championship rounds with King Amin of Essex, and I'm here with Jay Hardcore. Tell the people where to find you before we get it in today. And brother, I ain't come with my headgear. I'm ready to get it on. Let's go.
Ooh. Hey, it's your boy Jay Hardcore from Hardcore Boxing News. I'm just happy to be here with my guy, King Amin of Essence, and we're going to get in a little bit of verbal sparring. So I'm ready to go when you are, my bro.
Well, we're pretty prolific, so we be talking things up, and we're going to get to how prolific we are. Let's get into a little fight week recap. Before we get into the obvious fight, let's get into my favorite women's boxing. Yeah, Chantel Kerber, she pulled that off against Katie Taylor, huh?
She did. She did. And you called it, bro. You
Yo,
called it. I say, you know what? From now on, when it comes to that women boxing, boy, I'm going to come to your expertise before I jump out there.
and what I can say I loved about that fight is that Cameron, number one, again, Katie Taylor, daring for greatness, but she looked like, what I mean, it's too much tread on the tires, man. Number one, I think she's ready for Michaela Mayer. I think the pressure's on because I titled this one Pressure. We're gonna talk about pressure. I'm a southpaw, but and I usually counter, but I'm trying to bring the pressure today. Okay,
Oh.
I think
Pressure bust pipes.
yeah, we're gonna see because the pressure's on Katie Taylor. She has to fight Michaela Mayer now. There are no interim fights on the table. I think it's fair to Mayer. I think Mayer's ready for that. And I don't see what Taylor gets out of fighting anybody else in 135 at this point. On the other side of that, I think Chantel Cameron, she could stay at 140 or she could go up to 147. It's a lot going on. But what do you think about what either Taylor or Cameron does next?
Yeah, I agree. I say that Taylor need to go ahead and go with Mayer and before it's too late. You know what I'm saying? And in this game, you get old overnight sometimes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So when you see that, man, it's time to go ahead and get that cup, shake it, and say, "Oh, who's trying to pay me before I go?" You know what I mean? So it's time to shake that cup and cash out. You know what I mean? Prepare for the other half of your life.
Absolutely. And this was part one of it. Remember, she took a lot of risk, no
Mm-hmm.
belts, but she said, I don't care about that. Brought the fight home to Dublin, was a big event. Conor McGregor, everybody with a shamrock, everybody from Ireland was out there, man. So it was an event as well. Michaela Mayer, I think, was either commentating or she was present. So, glad to see that, man. And so let's get to the obvious recap. We've heard this one dissected many ways. Loma and Haney. Now, this one I was wrong about. My scorecard was 7-5 to Loma. Maybe I alluded to where my bias is. Southpaw, boxing kind of slick, but it didn't work. It didn't work against Haney. So tell me how you had it and basically what your opinions is about the fallout of Haney's unanimous decision victory. Do you think it was unanimous?
I'm gonna be truthfully honest. You know who I called to win the fight, right?
No.
I mean, when you and we talked about it, I said Haney. Didn't we talk
Okay.
about that? Yeah.
Okay. I
Yeah,
want to
yeah.
be sure. No surprises.
Yeah. I said Haney, but when I got a little bit later on and started doing some research, I said if Loma doesn't get old that night, we could see an upset. You know what I'm saying? And as I watched and I called that particular fight, I had Lomachenko winning that fight. I had Loma winning that fight, man, basically like 7-5 as well.
Wow.
And put it this way, up to the 11th round, I had Loma by 1 point.
Mm.
Okay. I had him by 1 point. Hold on, let me correct some things. I had Loma up to the 11th round by 1 point. Okay. By the time the 12th came around, I felt though that Haney won that round. And
Mm-hmm.
I said, I can go with Loma winning this fight or draw. That's how I felt about that particular fight.
Mm. And you know what's so beautiful about that? This is so pure, objective. because being able to put it out there, no picks and chooses, because we about boxing.
Oh yeah.
And I love that, man. This is why this is such great work, man. So the question is, what does Haney do next? What does Loma do next? Honestly, I think this is one of those cases where Loma wins and losing. Obviously the rematch would be great. I just don't know if
get it.
yeah, I don't know if he's gonna get it. I don't know if it makes sense. I mean, I know for his heart, he would love that. But I think, maybe going down to 130, if he can make it. I know he's not that big. Pause. Go down to 130 and just, maybe see what's going on there. He's such a great fighter, and look at what he did. He did it against everybody that we would consider, one of the best at the time or considerably of an era. Tio was unified, and that's who he took the loss to. He took the loss to Devin, right? But he fought. Look at the guys he fought and defeated, So yeah, man, shout out to him, shout out to them, man. And I think ultimately whatever they do, I said I'm gonna throw it out there. I feel like Devin would vacate, and then just kind of say, yo, Shakur and Loma, y'all fight for my scraps, as opposed to the next big fight for Devin. I think he should get in there and fight Shakur. Who else but Shakur? Especially, I don't see him hanging out at 135 much longer. What do you think about that prospect?
Way I look at it is this. I got two things for Devin. One, I believe that he needs to get himself a world-class coach. I feel, though, that his father is an excellent businessman, but when it comes to training, he's learning on the go. You know what I'm saying? And I just feel, though, that he needs to get him in with a world-class trainer and do what's best for your son. You know what I'm saying? Because he believes in what's best for his son. So I think that's what he should do. Now, Devin, going to 140 before he fights Shakur, he said the only reason why he wouldn't go to 140 if he could fight Shakur or Tank. Well, Shakur recently said that he's activating his mandatory to fight Devin. So there you go, Devin. He says he wants to fight you. He was in the ring. You left.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? He did everything he could to show you that he's ready to fight you now. Okay? I mean, that's what Bob was talking a couple of months ago. The winner of this fight fights Shakur. You know what I mean? I'm like an elephant. I remember everything, man. So if you go to 140, that means you duck Shakur. Because Shakur said, hey, I'm ready to fight you. We haven't heard anything from Tank. But Shakur say, hey, I want to fight. I want to fight. Hey, it's me. I want to fight. I'm over here.
Hey, you know what the funny thing is? We have heard from Tank via Kenny Ellis, and I hope he watches this episode. I'm going to see that it gets to his hands because, he was off the map a little bit, say he went the wrong way. He was talking Newark, Delaware, he might have been thinking, but he was talking about Newark, New Jersey. He wanted the message to get out to everybody in Newark, New Jersey, because he said Shakur is talking for us. Yes, we do want to see that fight too. But we kind of know that Tank is he's actually like the businessman of the division. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying he doesn't want to make those fights, but we know he stated he doesn't care about belts, which means that he could take the fights that we want as fans, or he could take the fights that's most lucrative. So Tank is in a good position, but I think the pressure's on Haney with Shakur at 135, activating the mandatory, because the only other way is for Haney, I guess, to activate some sort of mandatory and say, I want to clean up that regular WBA business. But I don't think he really wants the Tank fight right now. So I don't know, man. We got to get some more clarity with that. You think?
I think everybody wants the Tank sweepstake. You know what I mean? So I think Haney would definitely take that fight if it was offered to him. The question is the money there for you? You know what I mean? What do you bring to the table? You know what I mean? That's what it's going. I'm gonna tell you, that's who it's going to boil down to. Al Heyman and the folks. Al Heyman and the folks, the best to do it in business, and they know how to run a world-class face of boxing champion. Well, you know what I mean?
No, absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah, he knows what he's doing for sure. You know what I'm saying? And I done told everybody that Pitbull Cruz is next for Tank. It's the rematch. You know what I'm saying? And I put $1 bet on that. I put that, what was that with Eddie Murphy? That movie, was it trading
Trading
places?
places.
And they bet that dollar. I bet that dollar on this one that Tank and Pitbull Cruz fights next. They talking about Pitbull Cruz supposed to be on the Spence Crawford co-main.
Let's talk about that, man.
So if that's happening, why is they giving that kids that type of exposure?
To build them back up.
Exactly, to get knocked back down.
So let's talk about what else is going to need some building up, because the momentum of it has been knocked down. I'm talking Spence and Crawford. Hasn't been officially announced, but it's as good as, good as gold. I'm willing to bet that same dollar on it. Mortimer and Randolph, right? We're going to bet a dollar on it, right? It's made. And, even as I said it, because you asked me last week, and this is what I mean about prolific. You asked me last week, you said, what do you think about this fight getting made? You feel like it's close. It might be close. You think it's, and here we are, right? What a difference a week makes. How do you feel?
I feel it's going to happen, especially after what I seen today. Bud Crawford was on the $1 million worth of game.
Absolutely.
And they asked him what is holding up the fight. And the most positive thing I've heard from Bud about this fight so far, he said, nothing. I'm fighting Spence next and Spence fighting me next. It's happening.
That's it.
That's straight out the horse's mouth. I can't get no better than that. Because normally when you hear some stuff, Bud to get on Twitter and be like, Cap. Not this time. And yesterday, the meme he put out, oh my goodness, first shot thrown. Got him looking like Aquaman with the pitchfork with a shark on top of it. I was like, wow, shots fired.
Now, let me ask you, because you said something, right? Southpaw getting good counters. PBC knows how to market a championship fighter, a prize fighter, as the face of boxing. Did the pressure of what they did with Tank put pressure on these boys? Did the pressure, that Ryan Gard, did the pressure of even Loma and Haney or even, Taylor and Cameron, like, did the pressure of what Plant and Benavidez, did all that pressure bust this pipe and make this fight happen?
Definitely so. The reason why I say that, man, ain't nothing worse when you see all your peers doing these type of things, getting this love, getting this money, seeing how the fans are backing it, and you sitting on the sideline. You feeling like left out Lamont, you know what I'm saying? And you seeing it, you're like, man, they just did Benavidez and Plant. They just did Ryan and Tank. They just did Haney and Loma. You know what I mean? They making it happen. Yo, we don't get this money right now, but that's when they got on the phone with each other. They said, nah, bro, what you trying to do? I'm trying to fight. I want to fight. Well, let's fight then. Tell your people what to do, and I'm going to tell my people what to do, and we're going to get it done.
Yeah.
And I think that's what happened.
Yeah, because you mentioned that last week, you too, because Earl had spoken on, he was on a platform and mentioned that they have been on the phone and that talks have been positive. So got both guys saying the same thing. I don't want to be skeptical, but and when I say skeptical, I don't mean that the fight is not going to happen. I just mean that, boxing, the business of it, make it crazy, but I don't care either way. Let this fight happen, and then I think this makes up for a lot. This is like a shot in the arm. This is something crazy. So
boxing's looking great for us this year so far, man.
No, for sure, man, for sure. Speaking of another fight that's in play, I want to know if it has the same magnitude, but it's one of those, I feel like it's one of those top-ranked diets on, Emmanuel Navarrete versus Oscar Valdez. They were trying to cook this one, before Shakur. They were trying to, keep Navarrete from Shakur. Then they fed Valdez to Shakur. Now they kind of repackaged Navarrete. He almost got clipped. Valdez,
Australia.
Yeah, man. So now here we are. But is this, a fight still, even though it's in-house, we could say it could be easily made, but for Top Rank to put two guys that they could easily separate and market them separately, they making them go against each other. You think this is a good play?
It's a pressure fight because both of them bring it. both of them bringing, and I like that. You know what I'm saying? You know, they both going to be right there to be hit. You know what I mean? I think we're going to get one of our old school toys, Rock'em Sock'em Robots.
Yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I'm
yeah.
saying? And I'd be happy to see it. You know what I mean? Valdez looked good the other day against the young guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, he kept coming forward. You know, I don't like those wide punches, but hey, he the one that's going to have to pay for them in the long run. You
And
know,
listen,
but
Navarrete is very unorthodox, and he just went life or death with the Australian homie. You know what I'm saying? That was a
mm-hmm.
very exciting fight, but I don't know if
Which I
Navarrete.
thought could have got stopped right then.
Yeah, 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 yeah. You know, we don't. That's what I was getting ready to say. I don't know if fighting like that for so long is what condition Navarrete is that he may be ripe for the picking. This could be just what Top Rank wants. They kind of park the Navarrete. You know what I'm saying? And restore the Valdez and back that Valdez out, you know, and kind of create what they always wanted, you know, a Mexican champion that they can market, you know. You know, we'll see. We'll see. I just had
We'll
to throw that
see.
in there, man.
Yeah, no doubt.
Well, fight week. Let's get to it, man. We got some interesting action. You know, I'm talking about Mexicans. This guy really, he might as well be a UK city. I'm talking about Mauricio Lara with all of the badness he done caused up over there. Been over there whooping ass, whooped on Warrington. Got Warrington looking crazy. Every fight he had button. You know what I'm saying? He done turned Josh Warrington from a boxer to a UFC fighter. Knocked out Lee Wood, who is a very skilled fighter, and I consider highly touted. I followed them for a long time. You know, but here we are, Bronco Lara in the same position. They keep bringing him back. They keep hoping one of their guys will take this man out. Does Lee Wood do it this time, or is Lara just whooping these boys?
Wood is gonna, to be honest, man, he's gonna have to learn how to remain poised. He's gonna have to he's gonna, you know, and let my man weigh himself out a little bit, you know, and then come in on him, you know, because jumping on him while he hot ain't a smart deal.
Yeah. Early he tried to trade with him and tried to jump on him, and he was catching Lara, and then after a while, because they was both landing, he's catching Lara 2-for-1. And I always call that the traditional Mexican style. They'll take two to land one, but the one they land be landing. So, you know, then it started landing even 1-to-1, and then it was Lara landing before. Lara landing before Wood, and then, you know, Wood has to really rely on his boxing. He cannot try to trade.
He got to remain poised, man.
Yo, and these guys have had the advantage every time of fighting at home. That's the crazy part. Pressure. Lara is okay with fighting under pressure. That boy is a diamond because he ain't turned no cold. That boy ain't bust. He is skilled. He is skilled at what he do as far as being a power puncher, cutting off the distance. His motor's good. His will is strong. And he's exciting. Yeah. Complete. Yeah. And I think people need to stop looking at him as a fighter. And I don't know if I want to clear the air. He's not a Mexican puncher that got lucky. He's a world champion defending his title time and time again. And I think that people need to start to recognize him as such. So, speaking of getting recognized, Jack Catterall, he was trying to get that fight with Josh Taylor. Josh Taylor's tied up with Teofimo Lopez, so Catterall's keeping busy. Do you think Catterall ever gets that fight, or should he just move on?
I think he need to move on. Yeah, before, you know, because sometimes, you know, that 5 minutes of fame, man, wears off. You know what I mean? People forgot about you. You sitting around waiting. Get back out there. Go it to somebody else.
Absolutely. I think the pressure has waned. His momentum has been lost, and he needs to rebuild that, and go in another direction.
Make people want it. Go whip smash.
I tell you what he needs to do. He needs to get in there with Regis. You know, Regis is fighting a replacement opponent. I know this fight is happening, but until Regis can get his hands on whoever else in 140 want business with him, you know, that's the man that, you know, if he wants to say, hey, you beat Regis, I beat him too. If he can do that. I don't know,
you get that triangle theory right there.
There you go. I always got to shout out women's boxing on that card. You got Terry the Belter Harper. She's on a nice rebound after her loss to Michaela Mayer. She's been on a nice rebound. Now she's got the WBA championship title. She's defending it against one of the Guots, Clarissa Shields' former opponents. Yeah,
exactly.
So this should be a good, again, in the female ranks, even despite the divisions, despite the weight classes, these guys usually cross paths, and we need to see that a little bit more in the fellas. I'm not trying to be one of those guys.
They fight each other.
They definitely fight each other.
Everybody fights each other, man.
Absolutely. And keeping it in the UK, right? His last fight was not entertaining. He was watching paint dry. And I love Lawrence Okoli, man. But is he going to give us something more entertaining against Chris Billum-Smith? Even though we know Chris Billum-Smith is a former sparring partner of his, can we get an exciting fight out of Lawrence Okoli that make us believe that, he's running the cruiserweight division or what?
I'm going to tell you one thing about when you fight former sparring partners, you tend to get a good fight because both of them know each other. You know what I mean? And the per se sparring partner, he's going to give that person a real good fight. Think about when Jermaine Ortiz fought Lomachenko. Yeah. They had been sparring a lot, so they knew each other. You see what I'm saying? And Jermaine remembers that day that didn't come in the ring all that great. And he did great. You know what I'm saying? So he's trying to capitalize. And that's how sparring partners are. They're trying to capitalize because they know your weaknesses because they've been with you in there so much. I think we get a good one.
Yeah, man. I'm hoping so, because I think, especially when you come in as the partner who's the opponent, and that's Chris Billum-Smith. He ain't coming in like little brother no more. Like in Goodfellas, man. I don't shine shoes no more. You've been away for a long time. I don't shine shoes no more.
Ali Holmes.
Yeah, we know how that went, So yeah, man. Last stop, because we were talking about featherweight action, with Mauricio Lara, and Lee Wood. We got Luis Alberto Lopez versus Michael Conlan. This is in Belfast, kind of a homecoming fight for Conlan. Conlan is ESPN has been trying to market him as a white hope or hype, but he hasn't really panned out the way they want. And is this a serve up? Are they serving him up to Luis Alberto Lopez? Or is this?
I think it's one of those things, to get off the pie.
Yeah.
We stacked it. It's at your hometown and everything. What you gonna do?
Do what you can, right?
Yeah. Man, what about that Hannah Gabriels and Clarissa Shields news?
Oh, man. Listen. That fight, I am very excited about. I'm glad that it's in Detroit.
No, but it's not happening.
What?
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Damn.
Gabriels just got popped for PEDs.
Scooby-Doo, what?
What? She just got popped, yo.
Damn.
Yeah, Clarissa already got a new opponent already. I forgot the girl's name, but she's the #1 contender.
Wow.
And Hannah Gabriels got popped with testosterones in her.
Shorty, you supposed to be going the other way with the estrogens, honey. What are you doing with the testes?
She put the testes. She was trying to do Clarissa Shields bad.
Yeah, like I need that get back, homie. Yo, come on, man. Listen, man. Not when it comes to sports, but I usually would say if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying, but this ain't it, man. This ain't it, shorty. This ain't it. Damn, yo. Come on, man.
Yeah, I thought I'd come in there with a gut shot on you real quick.
Yeah, shit, man. Hit me like that. Just when you feel like you did good work. We did good work. I got him. Now I got to go home and ice my damn ribs.
Take that with you.
Come on, man. You did me like Ryan Garcia. You knew I got a prize fight coming up, and you did me like the Mongolian mole. King Amin, are you okay? Damn, boy. Damn, I should have came in with the headgear, man. This guy, man. Yeah, but that's great news. I mean, at least Shields has an opponent.
Well, they say protect yourself at all times.
Yo, great news. And listen, Hannah Gabriel's, mwah, but I'm glad they caught her.
Yeah, they caught her.
Like, come on, bro. You can't be out here doing that. Damn, love. I gotta talk to her, yo. I'm gonna call her.
It's cool. It's okay, boo boo.
You out here cheating, man. Should have called me, man.
You trying to put Shields in the dirt.
Come on, girl. This shit ain't
coming in with the testes.
Wow. Wow. Yeah, man. Women's boxing. Salute. But yeah, man. Listen, you hit me with it. You got anything else you wanna lay on me? Damn.
Protect yourself at all times, bro.
This is true. This is true. This is true, man. The ref ain't gonna save you, man. But people, this is why you have to keep up with hardcore boxing news. Please, I'm trying to tell you, you gotta pay attention, man. Tell them where to find you one more time before we get up out of here.
Hardcore Boxing News 51 on Instagram, on YouTube is Hardcore Boxing News, and on Twitter is Boxing Hardcore. You can catch me. I got a show every morning at 7 o'clock, Monday through Friday. Whereas, sorry about that. No. 7 o'clock every morning, Monday through Friday. And I just talk news. Whatever's happening, the latest thing in news, I jump on at 7 o'clock. So if you're trying to get a morning coffee shot, I'm right there for you at 7 in the morning every day.
Absolutely, man. Listen, man, this is on
YouTube.
Yeah, on YouTube. Find that on YouTube, man. So when you watching with your phone, you on a treadmill, you at work, you sitting wherever you doing, pull that up, man, and get your news for the day so you can be aware, aware of what's going on out here, man. But what's going on right now, man? Listen, it's the championship rounds. We coming to a close. My guy, my brother, Jay Hardcore, I appreciate you. And I'll see you next week, man. I'm gonna go put some ice on this thing, man. Go sit in the ice bath, man.
It's all good, bro.
Man. We out of here.
We out of here.